Mary Seery-Kearney.
I suppose I would. My points were around the GDPR aspect of it. That I think that the collection of data such as this would be very well done by someone like IBEC or even the department itself on a collective where there is pseudonymisation and where we have where people can't be identified. I mean the proportion of part-time employees in a lot of employments is considerably lower than that of the full-time. So there is a possibility of identification. The other side to it is, and albeit that it isn't perfect as a protection at all, but we do have the Protection of Employees Part-Time Work Act, which doesn't allow for a comparison between, or doesn't allow for comparable employees between part-time employees and full-time employees. It doesn't allow the part-timers to be discriminated against, and it allows a means by which you can make an application for a comparable employee for the terms and conditions of employment to be revised. And while it isn't perfect and allows for objective justification, at the same time there is a mechanism already inbuilt within employment law for there to be a redress where there is a disparity, and that disparity is known, and less so a lot of the contractors and the cleaning contractors and that I would have come across would be in the context of temporary agency workers who are assigned or who are in, and as long as they're not under a Swedish derogation type model, which would be the exception, then they also have comparable rights to a directly employed employee. So I think that there are within the under the umbrella of employment law, there are certainly other things. Now, do we need to maybe educate on that? Yes, we do, and maybe to make sure that that information is out through citizens' advice or otherwise, that people know that these all interlink in each other. But I think that there are other means of identifying, and there are other means of creating surveys that doesn't allow for individuals their particular information to come out into the public domain or be easily identified or be profiled within their jobs. So I think that between what is in employment law rendered already under the Protection of Employees pieces of legislation that are EU derived, there are protections that would target exactly what is being intended within the protections that are set out here in the amendments, and therefore I don't feel they are necessary, at all on one hand, and then from a GDPR thing, I think that they have in big companies it wouldn't be an issue, but there are smaller companies for which it would engage an issue, and in that way it would be unwise, and therefore I would agree with the Minister.